So some surprising news today. QuakeCon is starting up, and it appears that they did a bit of a shadow drop for some classic Doom games, we'll say. Doom 1993, I guess we got to call it by like its year now, right? We have Doom 2016, Doom 1993. That is available. That one is $5. We also have Doom 2 Classic for $5. And then as you're seeing here, Doom 3 for $10. This is pretty exciting. This is fun. Look, I'm a big Doom fan. Back in the day when Doom was first coming out, my family, specifically my dad and myself, were really into PC gaming, and I remember we went to the mall and they were doing this big showcase for it, and people were crowded around because Doom was like this next big thing from id, and it looked amazing because we just got done with like Wolfenstein, which was the next, like the first big thing I guess that a lot of us played, with like a first-person shooter style game that was kind of like 3D. And they were showing off Doom, and it looked like the most amazing thing we've ever seen. So I have fond memories for Doom. Doom 3 was also amazing because at the time it pushed video cards like to their knees. Like it was rough back then when this came out. I remember needing like a new NVIDIA card and everything, and that was when video cards were first really starting to get a hold of mainstream to a degree, where you'd see them advertised online, and we had like NVIDIA, you know, the way it's meant to be played and everything. So Doom 3 was a technical showcase back then, and I'm always excited to see Doom 3 get put on a new system, especially when it's I would say a fair price. These prices aren't outlandish or anything. I mean, $10 for Doom 3 I think is actually a pretty fair deal. $5 for Doom 1, 1993, sorry, $5 for Doom 2. Though those aren't bad prices, I would say. $20 gets you the Doom trilogy, essentially. Doom 1, 2, and then 3. Most people are going to say that's a fair value. Now, what's interesting about Doom 3, and it should be on here somewhere, otherwise I'll have to show you, I guess, on the game. This is ported by Panic Button, and I'm actually not seeing it here specifically, but this, oh, there we go, Panic Button. So we do have Panic Button as the porting company here. So I was kind of excited to see that because I wanted to see if they would do anything crazy with Doom 3 in particular. I know Doom 1 and 2 are pretty set in stone for what they have, but there are some interesting stuff that they've done. Well, I have downloaded Doom 3, I've played that. I also grabbed Doom 2 and played that for a bit, and I guess we'll talk a bit about what you can expect if you decide to pick it up. So Doom 3 is ported, like I said, by Panic Button, but the one thing I noticed, it's fairly limited with options, which was kind of disappointing to me. I was hoping to see all kinds of stuff that you could do with it, whether it's gyro controls, which are not included in this, by the way. That one probably caught me off guard the most, is that there's no gyro controls in this. I also couldn't find an option for subtitles, so I was playing through it and I said, let me turn the subtitles on just so I can also make sure I'm catching everything that's being said, obviously. And no subtitle support that I could find. Now they could patch that in later, but it is odd that it launches without any kind of subtitles that I could see anyway. Unless I completely missed it in the options, I don't see subtitle support, and that's a bit of a letdown, I would say, especially if you're someone who relies on them. Remember, we beat up Spyro pretty good for not having subtitles, so I can't let Doom 3 off the hook for that as well with this kind of a port. Now, they did have field of view option, which was interesting. You could mess around with that. That's good. Otherwise, though, it's fairly lacking on options when you're actually sitting down and looking through the menu. The game itself looks pretty good. I would say it at least appears that it's native like resolution of 1080p. There is some aliasing going on in the game that you can see, so they haven't smoothed everything out completely in it, but it does at least look fine on my monitor, and when I'm playing in handheld mode, it looks fine there as well. It is a fun game if you've never played Doom 3. Like I said, it is a game that heavily pushed video cards back in the day, and now it seems like anyone who does homebrew and stuff, they always seem to want to port Doom 3 to the next system. That is something that shows up. If it's not Doom 1, it's Doom 3. So you constantly see both of those get moved around everywhere. And Doom 3 had actually already been ported to the Switch through Homebrew, but here we are now with an official release at $10. Now, when I was playing through it, it looked fine, right? But I did notice quite a few frame rate issues, actually, and it was noticeable. So I'm sure you'll see some in-depth analysis from places like Digital Foundry, for example. But I did notice at times, specifically when I would turn and look at different things that were maybe behind me at one point, and I turn around while the camera is panning and you're moving, I noticed that it would start to kind of stutter and have some issues, or if things were kind of happening on screen, you would see that. But it's still a very fun game. I played through the first bit of it, and I think I'm gonna spend some time playing back through it on the Switch. It is interesting to see Doom 3 in portable mode, although I guess we kind of had that with the GPD win to a degree. It's interesting to see this now officially on a portable game console. So it's kind of neat. I mean, just because I remember when it came out, I remember reading about it in like PC Gaming Magazine and everything, about how it's like this next big graphical showcase, and they had articles about, are you ready for Doom 3? Is your video card up to par? Do you need to get a video card? Do you need to upgrade from AGP to PCI E and everything? It was crazy back then getting ready for this, but it was pretty cool. So yeah, Doom 3, I would say $10 worth the pickup. Frame rate issues are going on. We'll see if there's a patch for that. And no subtitles, which is weird, and no gyro support. Gyro support would have actually been pretty good here, I would say, and it's kind of a shame to not see it there. But $10, Doom 3, yeah, it's probably worth grabbing. Now, we also had Doom 1 and Doom 2, right, released, and I went ahead and picked up Doom 2. I love Doom 2. Yes, I know a lot of people remember Doom 1 or Doom 1993 quite a bit, but Doom 2 is a game that I sunk so much time into. We had the level editors back then on PC, and we would make so many of these things, but it runs exactly as you'd expect. It's Doom 2. It's a blast, okay? It's pretty funny to go into the options and see the settings, and they show you, like, controls. They'll show you, like, you know, the Joy-Cons in, like, the grip, and they'll show you the Pro Controller. I mean, it's kind of funny to see that. But it's set up well with controls, and I am going to talk very quickly about an issue that caught me off guard, and it appears like online it's catching other people off guard. I have a feeling I know why this is happening, but Bethesda is requiring you to sign in to Bethesda.net the first time you jump into the game. So when you jump into the game initially, it asks you to sign in. Okay, so you have to create an account, or you have to sign in with an already established Bethesda.net account. And after you do that, you don't necessarily need to be online to then play the game. But it is something that caught me a bit off guard, because these are older games. They're $5 games, right? And I have a feeling for those ones in particular, because I believe Doom 3 still needed a Bethesda sign-in for, like, the PS4, I believe. But for these ones, I have a strong feeling it has to do just with DRM and battling, of course, piracy and everything. That's most likely what I think is happening here, because after you sign in, you don't necessarily need to be online anymore. But it is weird to see DRM practices attached to these games that are from, like, the early 90s. It's a bit off-putting. It definitely caught me off guard, and I get why some people are frustrated by it. It's really just annoying. It's just an annoyance. And again, it's a $5 game. It's not like that's like a $60 game or anything. But yes, once you get through that, you can then play like normal. It will tell you that you've lost your connection at times, and that was like, oh, okay, again, annoyances, right? Just things that are just annoying. I put it in airplane mode to double check, and it was fine after initially signing in. Just one extra step to go through. Anyway, after playing it, yeah, it's still fun. It's Doom 2. Like, I love playing Doom 2. It's just run and gun fun, right? You don't have to think too much. You just go through and you just plow through enemies, and it's just a great time. They also have cooperative play on the same screen. I didn't see any online play. It was just on the same screen. So if you and a friend are hanging out and you're like, hey, let's play through Doom 2 together, let's do some co-op, you can. It also supported single Joy-Con play, although it's obviously more comfortable if you have a Pro Controller or a third-party controller set up, or, of course, dual Joy-Cons. But if you're out somewhere and you have your Switch and you want to pass off a Joy-Con, you can. You just sign in and you start playing without any issues in cooperative mode. It also has deathmatch, again, up to 4 people on the same screen, and it just splits up the screen like old school style, you know, back in the day like we used to do. I didn't try 4-player in handheld mode. I can't imagine it's like the best experience, although we have at this point had, what, virtual racing with 8 people on screen, so I guess it's not splitting it that much, and it was fun. I ran around just very quickly testing it out, and it seemed to work well. Friendly fires in there as well, so you could technically end up killing your friend by accident, but good times there. Definitely a lot of fun playing Doom 2, and having the cooperative mode same screen locally is good too. I mean, there's really not like much bad to say about Doom. It still holds up, it's still fun, and at $20 for the 3, so basically you get the Doom Trilogy for $20, I think is a great deal. Or if you just want one of them, $5 or $10, we'll get it for you. And Doom 3 I think is still a good pickup, but if you're gonna pick one of them, to be honest, Doom 2. Doom 2 is so much fun. I like Doom 2 a lot. So those are my thoughts very quickly on them, some impressions of playing through them. Everything works. We're missing some features in Doom 3 that I would like to see them patch in, Bethesda, panic button. But Doom 2 was very solid overall, minus that weird DRM thing. Again, I have a feeling it has to do with battling piracy in general, but that's just where we are right now with, I think, the Switch at times, and maybe we'll see more DRM stuff pop up, I'm not sure, but that is, I guess, one clear-cut way to battle some of that piracy that's going on. But let me know what you guys think. Were you surprised to see Doom pop up? I was. Like, they just, QuakeCon starts, and boom, guys, Doom 1, 2, and 3, it's all on the Switch, and $20 gets you all 3. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike it if not, and I'll see you guys next time.